Wherever you're joining us. It's my pleasure to be with you to be here with you today. And we really have a very exciting session for you. Very sad that it's our fifth and last part of the installment of internal audit. But don't worry, once we finish this, we don't go back and relax and sleep. We simply get on and we move on to our next webinar series. So from July onwards, watch the space. We will be coming back to you with more webinars, again, in internal audit, in risk management, and all of the areas that affect your professions. Right, so let me just introduce BDO for those of you that don't know BDO. BDO is a global professional services firm. We provide advisory services, tax services, audit, and assurance services, as well as outsourcing services. We're the fifth largest player globally. Last year, our revenues were in excess of 14 billion US dollars. We have a presence in 1,776 offices worldwide, and we have a presence in 166 countries and territories. And we employ a huge number of professionals. Last count last year was 115, and that's gone up substantially this year as well. If you look at the map on the right-hand side, all of the areas that are shaded in gray is where BDO has a footprint and offices. In terms of the offices in East Africa, we are an East African partnership. We have a presence in all of our East African countries: Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Ethiopia, and now we're opening offices in Burundi and DRC. We also have satellite offices and associate relations in Somalia and also South Sudan. So that is our East African cluster. If we can just go to the next slide, Meha. So we basically provide four services, and the main service obviously is audit and assurance, and we basically act as statutory auditors or external auditors of financial statements for a large number of global clients, as well as a very large number of key clients in throughout East Africa. We also do audits of special projects, donor-funded projects, special purpose reviews and audits. And then we provide a lot of training, technical training on IFRS and other accounting standards, and so on and so forth. And then we have a tax services, which is basically split into compliance services and then also advisory services. We'll do stuff like tax audits and tax health checks. We have a specialized team on transfer pricing. We provide advice on employment tax and expatriate tax, and also on corporate international tax planning. And then we provide advice on indirect taxes and customs duties. And we also have a large division which deals in large tax disputes with the revenue authorities in each one of our East African countries. And then we have an outsourcing service where, for those of our clients who don't want to keep certain services and they want to outsource those services, we can look after their accounting and bookkeeping. We can compile their statutory annual reports, their management reporting. We act as company secretaries. We provide financial management agent services and also fiscal management services. We can do your payroll for you. We provide other admin and accounting services. And we also provide a whole range of legal services as well. And then the department that I head, which is advisory services, this is the home of consultants and consultant type people. So we have our internal audit and risk management team here. And this is who you're going to be talking to today. And then we have management consultancy experts. We have a business turnaround and corporate recovery experts. We also have corporate finance and transaction services or transaction advisory services experts. And in fact, this is one area in which BDO is a global leader. So we're very proud to have the highest number of transactions or deals, as we call them, annually for many, many years now. And what this says about our people is that, we have people that our clients trust. Because remember, when you're doing a deal, it's very large sums of money, and it can actually make or break an organization. Uh, so this is something that obviously we can provide a lot of service on. And then I also had the forensic department, which does investigations. We can also look at, how to reduce your forensic risk, how to prevent frauds, and also how to detect frauds and then investigate them. And then we have an IT department, which provides technology advisory services, cybersecurity. Some of you might have attended our cybersecurity webinars. We also provide a whole range of data privacy services, protecting personal data. And then we have a business intelligence services, and we also have a division that provides ESG or sustainability services. Next slide, please. So today we are concluding sadly, our very enlightening webinar series that has taken us through various critical aspects of internal auditing and risk management. So let me start by, first of all, quickly recapping some of the key takeaways from our previous sessions. So if you remember in our first webinar, and by the way, if you missed any of these webinars, as Meha said, all of these trainings are available on our YouTube channel, which is BDO East Africa. So if you type those words, BDO East Africa, into YouTube search, you will see our channel, and you can find all of these past webinars, as well as another 40, 50 webinars on all of these business-related topics. And they're all current. They've all been done in the last 1.5, 2 years. So there's nothing outdated there. Everything is very current. So in our first webinar, we focused on integrating enterprise risk management with internal audit. We discussed how merging these functions can enhance organizational resilience and effectiveness. We also explored best practices and case studies that demonstrated the benefits of doing this kind of integration. And then in our second webinar, which was entitled Unveiling Effective Compliance and Anti-Fraud Strategies, a deep dive with BDO forensic experts, we delved into compliance frameworks and also anti-fraud strategies. We had a number of our forensic experts share their insights on how to detect and prevent fraud within all manner of organizations. We also provided valuable techniques for enhancing compliance and also for reducing fraud risks. Then we moved on to the third series in our webinar, which was Mastering Audit Leadership, the Power of EI, or Emotional Intelligence in Internal Audit. And here we highlighted the critical role of emotional intelligence in audit leadership. We discussed how deploying emotional intelligence can improve leadership effectiveness and team dynamics within internal audit. We also shared practical techniques to help audit leaders enhance their emotional intelligence skill. And we can't emphasize this soft skill is really important because, as everybody knows, internal audit has just been elevated along the years, and now we're working directly with the directors, with the board audit committee, with the stakeholders. So these emotional intelligence skills are more important now than they've ever been before. And then in our fourth webinar, we talked about evolving risk management and the modernization of the three-line model. We looked at the model, we focused on how this has modernized risk management, governance, and also compliance. We addressed the roles and how they've evolved, and also the responsibilities and how those have changed to adapt to our contemporary needs in our current times. And then we also provided some insights on how to effectively implement the new model in your organizations. And now for today's webinar, Shaping Tomorrow's Internal Auditor, Navigating the Future of the Profession. This is quite relevant as we conclude our series. And basically, we will provide a forward-looking perspective on the future of the internal audit profession. We're going to look at emerging trends, technologies, and the essential skills that define the next generation of internal auditors. The session is designed to offer some insights into the dynamic and changing roles and responsibility of internal auditors. We're going to delve into some of the intricacies of their work. We're going to demonstrate the significant contributions that internal auditors are now making towards fostering stability and driving growth within the organizations. So you'll see it's a far cry from where internal audit was historically, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that later on. So let's just dive into our topic for today and take it from there. Next slide, please. So here, what I'd like to do is I want to take you through the history of internal auditing, which is actually quite fascinating, and it mirrors the evolution of commerce and how organizations have become more and more complex through the ages. So yeah, I mean, this is not something that we normally be covering, but I think it's really fascinating to see how internal auditing has evolved. So starting with ancient civilizations, going back, I mean, 3000 BC, we're talking about the cradle of accountability. I mean, the roots of internal auditing can be traced back to the very dawn of civilization. In ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, there was meticulous record keeping for managing resources in those days, such as grain, and ensuring the smooth operation of these early societies. These early forms of internal control, even though they were rudimentary, they laid the foundation for ensuring that transactions were accurately recorded and that we were deterring cheats and we were deterring frauds. And then we had the Renaissance, which was a catalyst for more sophistication in internal audit. The Renaissance ushered in a golden age of trade and commerce and a need for more sophisticated financial recording practices. Merchants began to recognize the growing complexities of their financial operations, and they started employing auditors to safeguard the integrity of their ledgers and their books. This era also witnessed the groundbreaking work of Luca Pacioli. This is the Italian fellow. He was a mathematician in those days, and he was a contemporary of another Italian, Leonardo da Vinci. His invention of the double entry bookkeeping system, it actually laid the groundwork for modern accounting and auditing practice, and it forever changed the way financial information is captured and analyzed. So now, folks, you know where double entry came from. And then we move on to the Industrial Revolution, the rise of formalized internal audit. The Industrial Revolution marked a turning point because it was characterized by the growing of very large-scale enterprises and the emergence of large corporations. This period underscored the critical need for structure in financial management. And as a result of that, formal internal audit functions were established within companies to oversee financial operations and identify inefficiencies and mitigate fraud risks. So here, this is when we can see now formal structures coming into companies where internal audits became part of the fabric of the company. And then in the 20th century, this is when we started getting the formation of professional standards. This is where we witnessed the movement with the establishment of the Institute of Internal Auditors. Folks, this was established in 1941. And the IIA, it played a critical role in defining the standards and scope of the internal audit profession. The focus expanded beyond just mere financial scrutiny to actually encompassing performance auditing, operational auditing, and later on, IT auditing. And then in the late 20th and 21st century, there was specialization and expansion. The later half of the 20th century and the early years of the 21st century, we saw a surge in the complexity and importance of internal auditing. Now, auditors began to shift their gaze from primarily analyzing historical financial data towards a more forward-looking approach, encompassing risk assessment and strategic evaluation. Their role expanded into crucial areas such as risk management, technology audits, and even providing advice and advisory services. In essence, your internal auditor became a cornerstone of effective corporate governance within organizations. And this is when internal audit became almost synonymous with corporate governance. And then you turn to the modern era, which is now quite dynamic, as you all know, and it's evolving landscape. Today, internal auditors are expected to possess a diverse skill set, which encompasses technical expertise in IT, technical expertise in cybersecurity, strong strategic thinking, data analysis capabilities, and so on and so forth. Globalization and the digital revolution, they've reshaped internal auditing into quite a dynamic field. We're no longer back players, we're actually playing right at the front. And we're playing a critical role in helping companies to navigate the complexities of their business environments. So as we look back over the centuries, it's clear that internal auditing has continually evolved to meet the changing needs of businesses and societies. We've gone from being simple record keepers to strategic advisors, and internal auditors have just become indispensable in ensuring transparency, efficiency, and integrity within organizations. And then I hear somebody saying, well, and then along came AI. Don't worry, we're here. We're ready to deal with AI as well. So if we just move to our next slide, please. So let's now talk about how internal auditing strengthens organizations. Imagine them as a team of independent advisors who provide a clear picture of a company's health. They do this by conducting thorough assessments in several key areas. So the first is they are risk management experts. They identify potential problems, whether financial, operational, or even strategic. And by anticipating these challenges, companies can be better prepared and take action before they become major issues. Secondly, internal auditors are known to be champions of efficiency. They analyze how things are done within a company and identify areas for improvement. This can lead to smoother operations, reduced costs, and better use of resources. Then, thirdly, they are guardians of financial integrity. Internal auditors are the ones who make sure a company's financial records are accurate and reliable. So what does this do? This obviously helps to build trust with investors, with creditors, and other stakeholders who rely on the accuracy of our financial records and also the reliability of this information. Fourthly, they promote good governance and oversight. Their findings help leadership make informed decisions and ensure everyone is accountable. They report directly to senior management and the board, making sure that critical issues get the attention that they deserve. And finally, internal auditors are actually compliance champions, and I would say compliance and even ethics champions. They're the ones who ensure that a company follows all its relevant laws, regulations, and ethical standards. So what does this do? This is essential because it helps a company to maintain a culture of integrity and ethical behavior within the organization. So in a nutshell, internal auditors can play a vital role in any organization. And if we focus on these areas, they can easily help companies to navigate whatever challenges they have, to allow them to operate efficiently, and to allow them to achieve their goals. In conclusion, I mean, what can you say? You'd say they are really a key part of a healthy and successful organization. So at this point, let me stop and let me hand over to my colleague, Joseph. Joseph, are you ready?
Ready here.
You are ready. Very good. Take over.
Thank you, Mr. Sheikh, for that insightful introduction. You have provided us with a comprehensive understanding of the internal audit evolution and its importance in organizational governance. Your discussion on the historical journey and the crucial role of internal auditors has set a solid foundation for our next topic. Now, let's delve into the current landscape of internal audit. In this section, we will explore the various factors that shape today's internal audit environment, including regulatory requirements, technological advancements, as well as the evolving role of the internal auditors. So, over time, the internal audit landscape is continually evolving. That is mainly driven by regulatory changes, technology advancements, and shifts in organization priorities. So understanding this landscape is crucial for all the internal auditors so that they remain both effective and relevant. So if we to start with the first changes, the regulatory environment, currently organizations face growing scrutiny for regulations, requiring internal auditors to stay informed about the regulatory changes and ensure compliance. Of late, especially the East African market, there have been multiple changes in terms of laws and regulations, and this has hugely affected the organizations in the environment that they operate in. Specifically for organizations that have global presence, global operations introduce complex compliance requirements, and therefore auditors must navigate diverse regulatory environments and understand local laws as well as international laws where the organization now operates. Secondly, the compliance and ethics. Internal audits play a pivotal role in ensuring that organizations adhere to laws, regulations, and ethical standards, thereby maintaining the financial integrity of the organization. So auditors help uphold the ethical practices, preventing misconduct and promoting a culture of transparency. And thirdly, the most current changes mostly is the evolving role of internal auditors, the one that actually today we want to focus on. The role of auditors is expanding beyond the traditional tasks to include the advisory functions, requiring adaptability and continuous learning. Zahir had mentioned about the changes from the general internal audit into more of internal audit and even having the consulting role among all the internal auditors in organizations. So auditors must leverage the technology to improve audit processes and outcomes and to make sure that they continue to add value in organizations. Then thirdly, we want to look at the governance and oversight. Effective governance structures are essential for maintaining organizational health. Internal auditors specifically ensures that these structures are in place and they're functional, and to make sure that also they're effective and everyone in the organizations follows these structures. So auditors enhance the accountability by providing the independent assessments to senior management and boards, and to be able to advise them in terms of governance regulations and compliance, especially for the organizations that are being regulated by listing, like the Capital Markets Authority. So internal auditors play a huge role in making sure that the organizations are compliant in this sector. Fourthly, we have the remote auditing. Remote auditing has become more prevalent. Auditors must adapt to new methods and technologies to conduct effective audits from a distance, especially in the environment that currently most organizations operate, where everything now is done remotely. Most jobs are remotely, and therefore auditors must evolve to reach to these levels where they can conduct effective audits from a distance or remotely from wherever the organization is operating. The fourth, this is one of the core functions of internal auditors, the risk management. On the continuous monitoring, whereby ongoing risk assessment and management are critical. Auditors must be vigilant in identifying and mitigating these risks, especially the most evolving risks like the cyber security risks, which may cause a risk in the financial stability. Therefore, financial stability and cyber security are top priorities, and auditors must focus on these areas to protect the organizational assets from any potential misappropriation or mismanagement. Then we have the technological advancements. So technology enables auditors to analyze large data sets uncovering insights that traditional methods might miss. So protecting data and systems from cyber threats is growing concern, necessitating advanced cybersecurity measures. And this has also made the internal auditors to evolve from the traditional auditing of the processes into more of IT systems to make sure that the cybersecurity measures for the organization are top-notch and are impenetrable. Then we have the operational efficiency. Again, this is one of the key functions that have been there for internal auditors, where internal auditors assesses and improves the operational processes, whereby identifying the inefficiencies and gaps and recommending improvements to enhance the productivity. So the efficient use of resources is critical. Auditors ensure that resources are allocated and used effectively to add the maximum efficiency in the organization. Then next, I want us to look at the technological impacts on the internal audit processes. So technological advancements are transforming internal audit processes, making them more efficient, insightful, and flexible. For the first one, the data analytics. I've said about the technological advancements that provide insights, whereby auditors nowadays use data analytics to handle large data sets, whereby they identify anomalies and trends that require attention. So data analytics provides deeper insights and more accurate audit outcomes. And this is where internal audit is being shaped to because of the technology. Secondly, we have automation, whereby we say that automation provides the efficiency, where mostly automation reduces the time spent on routine tasks, thereby improving the efficiency and the consistency of audits. And the same thing, internal audit is continuous and most of the processes are repetitive. Automating processes ensure that audits are thorough and standardized, and this helps the internal auditors to be more efficient in their day-to-day activities. Thirdly is the continuous monitoring. Continuous monitoring allows for real-time risk assessments and immediate response to potential issues. This approach helps in identifying and mitigating risks before they even escalate. So continuous monitoring enables the real-time risk monitoring, enhancing the risk management and assessment across the whole organization. Another thing that technology has an impact in internal audit is the remote auditing. I just mentioned that with the changes in the organization, where most organizations are moving from the traditional way of operation to working from home or remotely, this has made the landscape to be more flexible. Thereby, remote auditing offers the flexibility and reduces the operational costs, making audits more accessible and efficient. So effective auditing relies on integrating various technologies to maintain the same audit quality. If we just to move from the technology impact and combine it with the trends that are shaping the future of internal audit, I want us to explore the transformative trends reshaping the future of internal audit, mostly emphasizing on the technological advancements and the critical role of data analytics. So these trends not only define the role of internal auditors, but also enhance their impact on organizational strategy and governance. So the first one, the technology advancements. The future of internal auditing is basically most down to the artificial intelligence, whereby most organizations now shape their ways through the use of AI tools like the ChatGPT and AI for work, whereby it helps the organizations to automate its processes and how the audits are conducted. For instance, AI enables the automation of routine tasks such as document scanning and data analysis, allowing auditors to focus more on strategic value-adding activities, and among others. For example, the robotic process automation is similarly transforming the audits by handling repetitive tasks like data entry and report generation, significantly improving the efficiency and accuracy of the audits. So the technologies provide auditors the tools to take more strategic risk-based approach transitioning from the traditional audit roles to becoming advisors who can offer insights that drive real business value, since we all know that the most main objective of internal audit is to add value into the organization. Secondly, is the data analytics and its role in internal audit. Data analytics stands at the core of modern internal auditing. With the ability to analyze vast amounts of data, auditors can now identify risks and opportunities more proactively, moving from the reactive to predictive auditing. This shift is crucial for continuous monitoring and real-time risk assessment that enables the auditors to focus their efforts on areas with the highest impact. So, for example, the advanced data analytics tools that allow for a more nuanced understanding of organizational data. This fosters a preventive approach to auditing and ensuring that audits are more aligned with organizational strategic objectives. And then on the same data analytics, there's also the development of the predictive auditing, where auditors nowadays use data analytics to move from reactive to predictive auditing, identifying risks and opportunities proactively, and as well as continuous monitoring, where we had mentioned before, real-time data analysis enables continuous risk assessment and strategic decision-making. Then another trend that is shaping the future of internal audit is the sustainability, especially the sustainability reporting. There's been an increased focus on sustainability and ESG factors. That is another significant trend influencing the internal auditors. Auditors are expected to assess how well ESG criteria are integrated into organization strategies and operations. And this mostly involves evaluating the effectiveness of ESG programs and the reliability of all the related disclosures to ensure that they meet the regulatory standards and stakeholder expectations. So as organizations aim to enhance their sustainability practices, internal auditors play a crucial role in providing assurance on ESG reporting and advising on the integration of sustainability into business strategies and objectives. Finally, we have the ethical responsibility in internal auditing. So as internal auditors, our ethical responsibility forms the cornerstone of our professional integrity and the trust placed in us by stakeholders. Stakeholders including the board of directors and even the shareholders. This duty extends beyond mere compliance with laws and regulations. It encompasses a commitment to uphold the highest standards of honesty, fairness, and discretion in all of our activities. So internal auditors adhere to the Institute of Internal Auditors Code of Ethics and the professional standards, include the IPPF, which guides our actions and decisions. So these standards require auditors to exhibit objectivity, confidentiality, competency, and professional behavior in every aspect of our work. Thereby, our ethical responsibility is not just a professional requirement, but a professional commitment to act as stewards. Internal auditors play a very pivotal role in ensuring that organizations not only succeed in their objectives, but also operate in a manner that is true to their values and all the necessary ethical standards. Now, if we move to the next slide on skills and competencies of future internal auditors that are required currently. So it is essential to understand that evolving landscape of skills and competencies that will define the successful professionals in the field. Today, I want us to explore the critical technical skills, the essential soft skills, and the importance of continuous learning and professional development for all the internal auditors. So, technical skills with the technological advancements, we have the data analysis. The ability to analyze large data sets is crucial for identifying trends, detecting anomalies, and providing the actionable insights. So future internal auditors must master data analysis techniques to deliver deeper and more strategic audits. Also, IT proficiency, as we had mentioned that organizations are increasingly rely on digital technologies, auditors must have a strong understanding of IT systems. This includes proficiency in using audit softwares and staying abreast of emerging technologies to ensure robust audit practices. Then, in terms of soft skills, currently the future internal auditors will have to be critical thinkers. This skill is fundamental as it enables auditors to effectively evaluate complex information, solve problems, and make data-driven decisions. Critical thinking helps in assessing situations from multiple angles and deriving logical conclusions based on data that has been analyzed by ourselves through the IT system. Secondly is communication. Effective communication is essential for articulating audit findings clearly and persuasively. It ensures that our recommendations are understood and acted upon by stakeholders, and helps in building a strong relationship between the stakeholders. Thirdly, the adaptability. The ability to adapt to change is vital in today's fast-paced business environments. Future auditors need to be flexible in their approach and ready to modify audit strategies and methodologies as business landscapes evolve. Lastly, we have the continuous learning and professional development. So engaging with organizations like the Institute of Internal Auditors and the SACA is beneficial for assessing specialized training and certifications such as the CCIA and CISA. So these credentials are globally recognized and signify a high standard of knowledge and expertise in the internal audit field. Things like the online learning platforms, platform like Coursera and LinkedIn, LinkedIn Learning offer courses that help auditors to keep pace with the technological advancement and refine their auditing skills. Other things are the other benefits of the online learning platforms are more like the webinars that we're currently having, and online courses allow auditors to learn at their own pace and on their own schedule, often at a lower cost than in in-person events. And then there's the reading industry publications. There's regularly reading publications like the Internal Auditors magazine that keeps auditors informed about new researches and developments in the field. Then there's the one of the key things is networking and mentorship. Building a professional network through LinkedIn groups or local Institute of Internal Auditors chapters can lead to mentorship opportunities, which are invaluable for career growth and professional development. So networking can lead to mentorship opportunities, job offers, and even collaborations on projects. So in summary, the role of internal auditors is evolving, and so are the skills required to excel in this profession. By embracing both the technical and the soft skills and committing to continuous learning, future internal auditors can significantly enhance the effectiveness and adaptability, position themselves as key strategic assets within the organizations. So the future internal auditing is shaped by advanced skills and strong soft skills and continuous professional development. These competencies are essential for navigating the evolving landscape and ensuring that internal auditors can effectively contribute to their organization's success. Now, let's shift our focus to the ethical challenges and responsibilities the internal auditors face in today's complex business environment. It is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Wilkista, who will delve into these critical issues and provide insights on how we can uphold the highest standards of integrity and professionalism in our work. Over to you, Wilkista.
Niangalie nini yangu my video. Thank you, Joseph, and I hope each one of you is doing okay. As internal auditors, we encounter a lot of ethical dilemmas in our work. Today, however, we'll focus on 3 major ethical challenges, and it's important for us to understand and know how to navigate these challenges. So what are some of these common ethical challenges? First, we have the conflict of interest. We, as internal auditors, sometimes find ourselves in situations where our personal interests clash with our professional duties. This makes it hard for us to try and stay neutral and independent. Then there is the pressure to compromise. Sometimes management tries to talk us into sweeping certain findings under the rug, but it's like they want us to, look the other way. And this can really put our honest and integrity to test. And finally, the breaches of confidentiality. Handling sensitive information is a big deal. And auditors have to walk a fine line between being transparent, and maintaining confidentiality when needed, especially when it comes to whistleblowers or company strategies. Now, how do we address these challenges? Well, the Institute of Internal Auditors has set some standards for us. As earlier explained by Joseph, these standards are like our ethical guidebook. And as auditors, it is basically our rule book, and we have to stick to those standards. Secondly, auditors must also maintain independence, both in perception and in practice. This involves clearing clear conflict of interest and also exercising professional skepticism and remaining unbiased in our assessments and decisions. And lastly, auditors should undergo regular ethical trainings. We need to be informed about the ethical principles and emerging ethical dilemmas. And these trainings initiatives can really help auditors identify ethical dilemmas and navigate complex situations. Next slide. The future of internal audit is all about keeping up with the times. In this slide, we'll talk about how game-changing the methodologies are, and we'll discuss about agile and predictive auditing. First, the agile approach allows auditors to quickly adapt to new changing business conditions. This methodology ensures that our focus are already aligned with current risks. The key techniques for agile auditing are what most of you practice on a daily basis. For example, the quick check-ins to keep things transparent and on track. And also, most of you keep a list of areas to prioritize while auditing. Then we have the sprint planning, which is teaming up with stakeholders to go through the objectives and timelines of the audit. And one of the major benefits that the agile approach significantly increases is the audit flexibility, and the agile approach also fosters more proactive and collaborative audit processes. Now, let's move to the next big methodology, which is the predictive auditing and risk fostering. This method allows organizations to take preventive measures. It leverages data analytics and forecasting techniques to predict potential risks before they manifest. Now, what are the core aspects of the predictive auditing? I have the frequent report, that is keeping everyone in the loop with the real-time updates during each sprint. Because when it comes to audit, we believe knowledge is power. Another core aspect is maintaining the dynamic audit plan that we can be able to adjust as new risks emerge. And lastly, with predictive auditing, internal auditors are required to use agile sprint to jump on emerging risks. What I can recommend to aspiring auditors or current auditors, you try and adopt these two methodologies. You will find out that the audit functions can not only keep pace with, but also anticipate and mitigate risks in a digital and dynamic business environment. Before we dive into our next topic, I would love to hear from you all. What's your biggest motivator for advancing in your internal audit career? We'll take about 10 seconds. Please tell us what drives you in internal audit career by responding to the call. Are you sure that is your honest feedback? It's not the high salary? Anyways, like most of you voted professional growth. That means you're always striving to learn and develop in your career. I'll tell you a secret. Whether you're just starting or looking to advance your career, internal audit offers a structured path with plenty of opportunities for growth and specialization. I will quickly tell you what you need, the skills to focus on, and what you'll do on each level. First, we have the entry-level position, which is commonly known as the associate or assistant level. Here, you need to have a bachelor's degree in accounting, finance, or any related field. Internships or related work experience can also give you a leg up. On the skills, you'll need analytical skills, attention to detail, and a basic understanding of auditing standards and procedures. And your roles here will be to assist in auditing planning, executing audit processes and procedures, and documenting findings alongside preparing reports. Moving on to the next level, which is the mid-level positions. Here you'll need 3 to 5 years of auditing experience and certification like the CIA, the Certified Internal Auditor certification, the CPA, and the CISA certification. The skills to focus on here will be strong analytical and problem-solving skills, team management skills, advanced understanding of audit standards, and effective communication. Your role in the mid-level will mostly be to lead audit projects, to manage risks, and mentor junior staff. On the advanced level position, which includes the audit supervisor and audit manager, you need 5 to 10 years of experience, advanced certifications, and possibly a master's degree. And the skills to focus on will include the leadership and team management, strategic planning, and strong communication and interpersonal skills. What you'll do at this stage is manage auditing. You'll oversee multiple audit projects and ensure compliance with standards and regulations. And lastly, the senior and more senior levels, which include the Director of Internal Audit and the Chief Audit Executive. One usually needs 10 years of experience, an extensive leadership experience, advanced certification, and potentially a master's degree. The skills to focus here will include the strategic leadership, executive level management communication, and influencing skills. While at this position, one will require to set the strategic direction of the internal audit function and also lead risk assessment mitigation initiative, among other responsibilities. Also, as you progress in your career, you may consider specializing in areas such as IT audit, forensic audit, or compliance and operational audit. And to boost your career, you can consider certification like the Certified Internal Auditor, which is a global recognized certification for internal auditors offered by the Institute of Internal Auditors. You can also do the system audit certification, which is the system certified information system audit. Here you'll have a focus on information system auditing, and it is offered by ISACA. And also the certified public accountant certification, a well-regarded certification in accounting, which is offered by CASNEB. Those are the major steps for you to take on the path to succeed as an internal auditor. Remember, it's a journey, and every step you take builds your expertise and confidence. Now I'll hand it back to Joseph to walk us through the key takeaways. Over to you, Joseph.
Thank you, Wilkita, for that wonderful presentation. From this webinar, the key takeaways from our side is one is the educational foundation and technical skills. We need to recognize the importance of a strong educational foundation it is critical role of a solid educational background, especially for internal auditors. Mostly it's in accounting, finance, business management, and I've seen even more internal auditors nowadays. They have bachelors of IT or bachelor of computer science. Those that are doing the IT audits. But most importantly, it's primarily is the accounting, finance, and business management courses. Robust educational foundation provides the theoretical system. It provides the theoretical framework essential for understanding the complex financial systems and auditing principles. Continuous learning and formal education are fundamental for the successful career in internal auditing. So mostly for continuous learning, you can have the certifications that we previously mentioned, like in the CIA and CISA. I've seen even the security certificates for the system administrators and the IT auditors, and any other specialized courses that are useful in auditing and even finance. Secondly, is to develop a robust technical skills in auditing. So essential technical skills that might include risk assessment, control evaluation, financial analysis, and proficiency in editing softwares. Other things can be encourage participation in specialized training programs and obtaining certifications like the CPA, CIA, and CISA, and also staying updated with the latest tools and techniques is crucial for efficiency and effectiveness, especially when it comes to the part of networking through the IIA chapters and even ECPAC. Then thirdly, the skills and competencies for the future internal auditors. You have the future internal auditors require a balanced mix of technical and soft skills. In terms of technical skills, you have skills like the data analytics, cybersecurity knowledge, and proficiency with audit softwares are key areas. Example of this is training in data analytics. Tools such as the ACL, IDEA, or Power BI can hugely help internal auditors of the future. In terms of soft skills, we have mentioned communication, critical thinking, adaptability, and leadership are vital for navigating complex audit environments. Examples will be the development through workshops, seminars, online webinars like this one, and even on the job trainings. So these competencies are essential to meet the evolving demand of the auditing profession. In terms of trends shaping the future of internal auditors, we discussed that data analytics is revolutionizing internal auditing by allowing for quick and accurate analysis of large data sets. So benefits of the data analytics may include the identifying of emerging risks, detecting fraud, and enhancing the decision-making processes. So I encourage the adoption of data analytics tools and techniques, tools like the W, Python, or even R, to be usually used in the internal auditors even for the future. Thirdly, the things of cybersecurity risks. We mentioned that cybersecurity is increasingly critical in the audit landscape. Auditors need to take a proactive approach to cybersecurity, including the continuous monitoring and the continuous assessment of security controls. Also, the importance of protecting organizational assets and data from cyber threats. And then sustainability and ESG considerations. There is a growing emphasis on environmental, social, and governance factors in audit practices. So internal auditors will need to integrate ESG consideration into audits to access the sustainability initiatives and the ethical practices. ESG factors can significantly impact an organization's reputation and the long-term success of the organization. In terms of ethical challenges and responsibilities, we mentioned that integrity and ethics are the cornerstones of the audit profession. So ethical standards guide auditors to maintain the objectivity, the impartiality, and as well as the transparency. So there's always the ethical dilemmas, and there are always ways of how to navigate them while upholding professional standards. IAA has been hugely cornerstone in providing more examples of dilemmas and how to go about them. I suggest that we go and read the IAA magazine to see how we can navigate the ethical dilemmas. In terms of networking, building a professional network is crucial within the auditing community. Networking benefits include like insights from industry trends, mentorship opportunities, and even career advancements. we normally say that most jobs are not advertised. Most jobs are normally found through networking. So networking is one of key aspects. You need to encourage participation in professional organization, conferences, and even online forums. Happy to note, I've seen the Internal Auditors Kenyan chapter. They nowadays have started posting people's articles into LinkedIn. It's one of the ways that Internal Auditors we can try to participate and try to move the profession further. Then also you can join groups like the IIA Kenyan chapter or attend the industry conferences that have CPD or those that don't have. The most benefit part here is about the networking. Finally, in terms of continuous learning, we said that lifelong learning is essential for staying current with the industry developments. So we have to seek out professional development programs, certifications, and other learning opportunities. Continuous learning enhances skills, improves the job performance, and advances career prospects. And I'm happy to share that that were the key takeaways from our side. I'll hand it back to our moderator, Meha. Meha will take the Q&A, will answer a few question and answers, and then we'll conclude it. Meha, over to you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Mr. Zahari Sheikh, Joseph Manzanji, and Wilkester Sumo for your expert insights into internal audit, the profession, and the future of internal audit. It was a great webinar, and thank you all for your engagement. I'd like to start off with the Q&A session. We had several questions. Let me just... So the first question is, to what extent is an internal audit function involved in risk management and compliance? Are these different functions, or can they be done by internal auditors? Thank you for your question.
Okay, Meha, can take that one. So I want to explain the difference between the risk management and compliance. Risk management focuses primarily in identifying, assessing, and managing risks to achieve the organizational objectives. Their scope mostly is broad. It's covering that just all types of risks, including the strategic, operational, financial, compliance, etc. So primarily, the responsibility is of that of management. Internal audit just provides an assurance and advisory support. In terms of compliance, it focuses mostly in adhering to laws, regulations, and internal policies. So their focus is specifically focused on regulatory requirements and the internal standards. So primarily, the responsibility of compliance function within the internal audit is just providing assurance and monitoring. So while risk management and compliance are distinct functions, they are closely related and often overlap. At times in most organizations, these two overlap, but effective collaboration between these functions is crucial for a holistic approach to governance, risk, and compliance. And internal audit can play a central role in the integration of this. One, by facilitating coordination, where you encourage collaboration between risk management and compliance function to ensure that there's a unified approach to managing risks and ensuring compliance. Secondly, by the key objective of internal audit, providing assurance, where you offer the independent assurance on the effectiveness of the risk management and the compliance activities. And finally, promoting the best practices, whereby you share insights and best practices across the organization to strengthen both risk management and compliance efforts. So risk management, compliance, and internal audit are closely related, but they have distinctive functions. I hope I've answered that one, Meha.
Thank you, Joseph, for the answer. We have a few more questions. This one is to Wilkester. For IT auditing, someone has asked if you need a bachelor's in accounting.
Not necessarily. You can have accounting or decide to do a bachelor's degree in information technology or computer science. But what is most important is that you do the certification for the Certified Information System Auditor, and that will help you demonstrate your expertise.
Thank you, Augusta. We have another question which asks, with the evolving aspect of remote auditing, could we say it's dependent on the technological updates by the organizations so as to manage or ensure quality of audits?
Okay, I'll take that one. Yes, the effectiveness of remote auditing is highly dependent on the technological uptake by organizations, because it depends on a few issues. First, the access to digital tools and platforms, primarily the audit management software. So for effective remote auditing, it relies on the specialized audit management software that enables auditors to plan, execute, and report on audits remotely. So yes, organizations need to provide this. Then the same thing with data analytic tools. Most of the data analytic tools need to be subscribed to and being paid annually or monthly. Again, this depends on the organization. The organization has to be willing to uptake it. Another thing that is dependent is the cybersecurity measures, because now when it comes to remote auditing or remote or working remotely, it provides the organization into risk of cyber attacks. So with the robust cybersecurity measures are essential to protect the sensitivity information from breaches and cyber attacks. So organizations must implement strong encryptions, secure access controls, and regular security audits to safeguard the digital infrastructure. Again, it's dependent on the technological competence for staff, where both the auditors and organization staff need to be proficient in using the relevant technologies. So this includes trainings on software tools, data analytics techniques, and even the cybersecurity best practices. So yes, as much as remote auditing offers numerous advantages, its success is heavily reliant on the organization's technological capabilities. So by investing in the right technologies and ensuring that their staff are well trained, organization can effectively manage and ensure the quality of their audit.
Thank you, Joseph. We have another question which asks, could you please repeat the different certifications relevant to internal audit? Worcester, you can.
Of course. You can do the Certified Internal Auditor certification, the Certified Information Systems Auditor, also the certification in Risk Management Assurance, and you can add it up with the Certified Fraud Examiner.
Thank you. The next question is, do internal auditors perform risk management activities, or do they facilitate functions to identify and manage risks?
Okay, Meha, I think that is it's similar to the question I had answered in terms of the differences between the risk management, compliance, and internal audit. I said internal auditors, okay, in small organizations, the role of internal audit, risk and compliance is normally the same person who is the internal auditor. As much as we perform those roles together, we need to maintain our independency. But where in setups where the internal audit is a department on its own, risk management is a department on its own, and compliance is a department on its own, we internal auditors just facilitate in the identifying of those risks and on risks, and even the checking on the effectiveness of the mitigations that the risk department comes with. So yes, it depends with how the organization is set up.
Thank you. We have time to take maybe one more question. This question is also relating to remote auditing. So is there an increasing trend in remote auditing post-COVID-19 pandemic?
Yes, post-COVID-19 pandemic, most organizations moved from going to the office and dealing to people face-to-face to working remotely. So yes, remote auditing is hugely growing because of the post-COVID pandemic, and also the most important aspect is the technological advancement, which are helping remote auditing to be more effective and more cost effective.
Okay, thank you, Joseph and Wilkester, for your very insightful expertise in answering these questions. And I think that's all the time we have today for all your questions. Thank you once again for being very interactive and asking several questions. I'm sorry we don't have that much time to answer everyone's questions, but please do feel free to reach out to us, and we're free to answer any of your questions relating to this webinar. And additionally, we have a poll because we do value your feedback and we want to know your insights on webinars in general. So I'll send out a poll question. It's 6 different questions, so please take some time. It would be very helpful for planning the future webinars and also knowing what you guys are most interested in. And once again, thank you to the attendees for always joining us at these webinars. Okay, I think you can all see the poll questions. So before you leave, please leave some feedback. We would appreciate it. And that's all for today. Have a good evening, and thank you so much for joining us.
People.